Good afternoon. As you may have noticed, this month we have a very special presentation for you. Our friends at AdventHealth are the official healthcare providers of Bachtower Gardens. With their focus on health and community, they are sharing important messages that focus on summer health and summer emergencies with us. The messages today can and do affect many people during the hottest part of the year. As those who appreciate exploring and enjoying nature, we are so glad that our friends at AdventHealth can help us stay safe outdoors. Let's get started by introducing our first presenter, Lisa Peto, APRN, FNPC, is a family nurse practitioner with the Lake Wales Medical Group who treats patients from birth through the life cycle. Ms. Peto evaluates and treats acute and chronic illnesses in both families and adults. She provides in-office assessments, diagnostics, and treatment of patients. Her goal when caring for patients is to make sure they have all the information and tools they need to make healthy choices that will benefit their lives. As a primary care provider that treats the entire family, Ms. Peto hopes her caring attitude towards every patient shows. She believes it is important to relate to people and make a plan of care with their goals in mind. So we have some questions for Lisa today from our chat here. And hello, Lisa, and welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Stephen, let's go ahead and we'll get started with the presentation and we'll do questions and listen just a little bit.
Okay, we will do that.
So as you know, Florida is one of the hottest and most humid states in the United States. And it's really important as we go into summer that we focus on hydration. And I get asked this all the time. How much should I be drinking? Well, a good rule of thumb is to drink about 1/3 of your body weight. So if you weigh about 150 pounds, then you need to drink about 50 ounces of liquid. 175 is about 58, 200 is about 66, but it's important what you drink. A lot of people, when they're spending the day outside in the heat, they'll have a soda or something with caffeine in it, or a sugary drink, or even alcohol. And it's really not a good choice for you. It's important that you focus on putting nutrients back in your body, nutrients that are being leached out by the sun. Water's always a good option, but you don't want to always drink just water because it can really dilute your sodium in your system and cause a lot of really bad side effects. So what are these bad side effects? You can go ahead and advance the slide. If you're out in the heat and you're not drinking, you're going to get dehydrated. And a good rule of thumb is that if you feel thirsty, you're probably already dehydrated. So you should drink before, during, and after exercise. You should also try to take like a break every hour, spend about 10 minutes in the shade. It's a good way to calm your body down and let your body catch up with all that's going on. It can be so exhausting to be outside in the sun, and we want to spend our time in the Florida sun. That's why we live in Florida. So what does dehydration look like? A lot of people don't realize that when you're dehydrated, you don't feel like eating. Your skin can get dry, your lips will get dry. Your urine, when you go to the bathroom, your urine is darker and there's a lot less of it. You're tired, you're irritable. Some people, when they become dehydrated, their breathing increases. They seem a little bit out of breath and they get very dizzy. That's a scary feeling. Go ahead and advance the slide. Dehydration, if it's not kept in check, if it's not treated, it can cause you to become confused, to become dizzy or faint. Your heartbeat can speed up. You can have seizures. It can lead to death. And when you see signs like this, you need to get to the emergency room very quickly so we can get you rehydrated. Fluids are one of the most important things. But did you know, you can advance the slide, that it's important that you're aware of your skin as well. Dehydration can happen to your skin too. Our skin is the largest organ in our body, and 60% of the human body is water. Staying hydrated keeps your skin plump, it keeps you with a dewy complexion, and it makes you more resistant to environmental elements and free radicals. So when your skin gets dehydrated, it looks dull. It can be itchy. You can see more dark circles, fine lines, and wrinkles. And these things can happen out in the heat, but they can also happen by the environment you're in. If you're in a very dry place, not near any water, if you don't get a lot of water, believe it or not, if you don't get a lot of sleep, your skin gets dehydrated. Diet affects your skin, and also exposure to chemicals. If you're out treating the lawn and stuff like that, that stuff lands on your skin. So one of the most important things that you can do is treat your skin with sunscreen. And all skin types really do struggle from lack of hydration. So even dry, oily, or everything in between skin needs to be taken care of. So sunscreens, are all sunscreens the same? Well, actually, no. Unless your sunscreen says broad spectrum, it does not protect against both burning and skin cancer, which that was an interesting thing to me. I always assume a sunscreen is going to always protect you from skin cancer and from burn, but that's not true. A sunscreen with an SPF or a sun protection formula greater than 15 is what's needed to prevent burning of your skin. And even if a sunscreen is water resistant, it needs to be reapplied every 40 to 80 minutes. Please advance the slide. I know that tanning is a huge thing. It's always been. And what do people come to Florida for but the sun, to enjoy and get a nice tan? But tanning is not actually a good thing. It's an indication of damage to the skin. Everybody thinks, I'll go out and get a good base and then I won't burn. Any tanning or changing of the skin by the sun is actually damage to the skin. It's actually safer to do like a spray tan, believe it or not, which is actually a staining of your skin to give it color. Avoiding time in the sun or time in a tanning bed is probably the safest thing you can do for your skin. Advance the slide, please. The other thing that's important is filling up your tank, making sure that you're eating correctly to be out in the heat. It's important to use the right tool for the right job. And so you want to use good food. Carbohydrates are foods that are burned very quickly. And so they'll fill you up fast, but then they leave you empty even faster. They just don't carry any length of time. So carbohydrates, we're talking about things like breads, crackers, pastas, stuff like that. You want to focus on proteins. Proteins are the key. They fill you and they last a while and they help build muscle. Fresh fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, these are wonderful things to have with you outside. You can get lots of liquid and hydration from fruits and vegetables, and nuts and seeds usually carry high protein levels that will help you be less hungry and stay fuller longer. And then of course, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. You need to drink lots and lots of liquids. Advance the slide, please. It's really important to identify junk food, foods that really are no good. Protein bars and protein drinks and stuff like that, they really do have their place, but you don't want something that's all processed up. Real food is the best food. I've always gone by the motto that if God made it, it's good. So things that are natural, things that if you can read the ingredients, then it's good. If you can't read the ingredients, put it back. If you look at those nutrition bars, some of them are just filled with so many preservatives and fillers and stuff like that. You know, if you have a protein bar in one hand and a banana in the other, go with the banana. I mean, you want the natural stuff. That's the stuff that's going to be good. And if you absolutely need to have a sweet treat like a cookie or a piece of cake, make it homemade. It's amazing. We've got these cookie mixes and processed cookies out there in the grocery stores, and they're filled with so many things that are bad for you, and you can't even read the ingredients. And when you make something homemade, you know what you're putting into it. You're putting in the basic things. You're putting in flour and egg and milk and stuff like that. And you know that there's not over processed things being put in there. So you're putting good, healthy foods, good, healthy, pure ingredients into your body. Next slide, please. So primary care is what I specialize in. And I think it's really important that everybody comes in yearly and sees their primary care provider. It's a relationship that we establish so that I know you and you know me, and we can work together to give you the best information to move forward. We do a lot of preventative screenings, such as blood pressure, blood work, pap smears, colonoscopies, mammograms. Prevention is the key to chronic medical conditions. And at AdventHealth, we really, truly like to partner with our patients to keep you safe, love you, make it simple, and do our job.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. We have learned a lot about staying healthy in Central Florida. It's great to know that we have healthcare that providers like you right here locally. So we do have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering if you can answer now for us.
Sure.
The first one, are flavored waters approved to drink?
Flavored waters are fine. Most of them are water-based, and they just have usually a non-sugar flavor additive. Some of them use natural flavoring. I'm a person that would rather just put some strawberries or lemon slices or orange slices in my water rather than buy a flavoring, but there's nothing wrong with the flavored waters.
That's wonderful. I love that. The next question, if I get a sunburn, what is the best way to treat it?
The best way to treat it is to get out of the sun and moisturize your skin. That's really important. A sunburn happens when the top layer of the skin is dried out and damaged by the sun. And so by moisturizing the skin and rehydrating your body through liquids and good healthy foods, your body is going to eventually shed that burnt layer of skin and heal from the inside and the outside in. But moisturize. Aloe vera is going to be your best friend when it comes to a burn. It's a natural, easy way to kind of rehydrate the skin and treat the damaged layer.
Thank you. And we did have another question based on the last one about the flavor watering. Is sparkling water without sugar okay? Is that approved to drink?
Most sparkling water has like a sodium bicarbonate in it to make it sparkling. And as long as you don't have high blood pressure and it's not too much sodium, it should be fine.
Great, thank you. And last question here. What are the best fruits and veggies to choose? I have heard some fruits have sugar. Is that okay if I'm a diabetic?
Actually, most foods have some form of sugar in them. Personally, my husband's diabetic, and I take care of a lot of diabetic patients. And my philosophy is, if it's a natural food, like an apple, an orange, pineapple, and it's not canned or jarred or anything like that, eat it. It's good for you. Berries are the absolute best fruit to eat because they're filled with antioxidants. But the sugars that you get from fruits and vegetables, They do raise your sugar, but they also bring it down as well. They'll even you out. It's not a processed sugar. It's a better sugar for your body to handle. So if somebody has to choose between, say, a slice of pineapple or a Snickers bar, it's much better to choose the pineapple than it is the candy bar.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
Well, thanks for coming.